in this video, I will be covering HL Content Unit 5, Counting Particles. It's about the ideal gas model and real gases, and also the ideal gas law, where you need to know how to recognize the key assumptions in the ideal gas model, and also need to know how to explain the limitations of the ideal gas model. No mathematical coverage is required. The ideal gas model. There are some assumptions about the ideal gas models. The first one is the particles are the same. So it means that each particle is the same with another particles in terms of size, shape, and also the kinetic energy. And the second assumption is the particles do not interact, means that there are no intermolecular forces. But I know it's not true because the gas particles are compressible. So when you press the gas particles, the intermolecular forces exist, right? And the third assumption is they do not occupy volume, or they do not contribute to the volume of the container. As you can see here, this volume is very large compared to the volume occupied by particles. And the fourth assumption is collisions between particles themselves or with the walls of the container is elastic. Elastic word means here the kinetic energy of the particles before and after the collision is the same. So there is no energy that is lost, and also there is no energy that is transformed into another type of energy when the particles collide. Why do we talk about ideal gas while real gas deviates the ideal gas model? Before that, let's talk about real gases. Real gases have different behavior with the ideal gas model particles, where their molecules or particles vary in shape, size, and the strength of their intermolecular forces. They do take up volume, or they do contribute to the volume of the container, where when we press or compress the particles of the gas, the intermolecular forces exist. For example, the gas particles that are moving freely to all direction in a container, when we make the volume smaller, so these gas particles might change into the liquid particles that now are moving around each other. So the intermolecular forces appears between the liquid particles even though it's weak. And collisions as well between the particles or the container of the wall of the container is not the same before and after the collision, means the energy is lost and also can transform into another type of energy. For example, if the frequency of the collisions of the particles is very high, so the energy will increase and will transform into heat. So the temperature will increase. Let's go back to the question of why do we talk about ideal gas while real gas deviate the ideal gas model? Actually, the ideal gas model can help us to understand the behavior of gas molecule. But under certain circumstances, where the pressure should be very, very low and then the temperature should be very, very high. Why? Real gas molecules or particles actually follow the ideal gas model when the temperature is very high and the pressure is very low. As you know, the pressure and volume has inversely proportional relationship. So when we increase the pressure, the volume will decrease. So when the pressure is low, very low, the volume is very large. So therefore, there is no intermolecular forces between the particles, or the intermolecular forces are neglected. And when the temperature is very, very, very high, so the average kinetic energy of the particles is also very high. So the intermolecular forces between the particles also are neglected. But what about other conditions? The real gases particles deviate the ideal gas model. Next subtopics, you need to know how to investigate the relationship between temperature, pressure, and volume for a fixed mass of an ideal gas, and analyze graphs relating these variables. The names of specific gas laws will not be assessed. The value for the molar volume of an ideal gas under standard temperature and pressure, or STP, is given in the data booklet. And the next subtopics, you need to know how to solve problems relating to the ideal gas equation. This is the ideal gas equations, and also the combined gas law. This is the combined gas law. Units of volume and pressure should be in international standard. The value of the gas constant R, the ideal gas equation, and the combined gas law are given in the data booklet. The first relationship is between pressure and volume. Okay, as you can see here, higher pressure, smaller volume. Lower pressure, higher volume. Means it has inversely proportional relationship. So when you increase the pressure, volume will decrease. When you increase the volume, pressure will decrease. So this can be represented through P1 times V1 equals to P2 times V2 in case that volume or pressure is changed. And the unit of pressure is Pascal. In case that you find a question where the data gave you in bar or atmosphere, so 1 atmosphere, 1 bar equals to 1 times 10 to the power 1 times 10 to the power 0.5 Pascal. Okay, and the second relationship between the pressure and volume, and this is the relationship between the pressure and volume graphs, where you can see that here the pressure is inversely proportional to its volume, and when the x-axis is 1 divided by volume, the graph is linear. The second relationship is between the volume and temperature. So pressure is constant. You can see that in this figure, low temperature, low volume. High temperature, high volume means that they have directly proportional relationship. So when you increase temperature, volume will increase. When you decrease volume, the temperature will also decrease. How? Right. The condition or the scenario, pressure must be constant. So when you increase volume, to make the pressure to be constant, you need to add heat. So when heat is added, the temperature will increase. That's how the relationship between volume and temperature. And when you decrease volume, the energy is lost. So the energy reduces, so the temperature also will reduce. And this relationship represented in this formula, V1 divided by T1 equals to V2 divided by T2. And the unit of temperature is Kelvin, not degrees Celsius. So when you find a question gives data in degrees Celsius, you need to convert it into Kelvin. Okay, so this is the graph represent the relationship between the volume and temperature because they have directly proportional relationship, so the graph is linear. Next, the relationship between temperature and pressure where volume is constant. When the temperature is 200 Kelvin and the pressure is 1 atmosphere, and when the temperature increases to be 400 Kelvin, pressure also increases. Means that it has or they have the directly proportional relationship where increasing the temperature will increase the pressure, decreases the temperature will decrease the pressure. How? When the temperature increases, the average kinetic energy of the particles will also increase. So the collisions of the particles between themselves or with the wall of the container will also increase. So this will increase the pressure. And this relationship represents through the formula P1 divided by T1 equals to P2 divided by T2. And the graph is linear because when we increase the pressure, the temperature also will increase. Right. So this is the example of the question where a helium-filled weather balloon is designed to rise to an altitude as high as 37,000 meters. A balloon with a volume of 5.5 decimeter cube. So V1 is 5.5 decimeter cube. And pressure is 101 kilopascal. Is released and rise to an altitude of 3,500 meters where the atmospheric pressure is. So P2, it's 68 kilopascal. Calculate the new volume in decimeter cube. So V2 is the question. It is assumed that the temperature and amount in mole remain constant. So pressure and volume has inversely proportional relationship. So the formula will be P1 times V1 equals to P2 times V2. P1 is 101 kilopascal and V1 is 5.5 decimeter cube equals to P2 is 68 kilopascal times V2. This is the question. V2 is 8.17 decimeter cube. What you can see here, the pressure decreases, right? Volume increases. So you see that when you decrease the pressure, the volume will increase. The second question, a glass string contains 76.4 centimeter cube of a gas at 27 degrees Celsius. After running ice cold water over the outside of the gas string, the temperature of the gas reduces to 18 degrees Celsius. So this one would be V1 and this one would be T1 and this would be T2. Don't forget to convert them into Kelvin. The question is calculate the new volume in centimeter cube occupied by the gas. So the equation would be V1 divided by T1 equals to V2 divided by T2. So V1 is, so this one, V is 76.4 centimeter cube divided by T1, 27 degrees Celsius. It's 300.15 Kelvin equals to V2 is the question. T2 is 18 degrees Celsius is 291.15 Kelvin. So V2 is 74.11 decimeter cube. So let's see. This is the first volume. This is the second volume. And this one, this is the first temperature. This is the second temperature. Temperature decreases, volume decreases as well. Okay? Because volume and temperature has directly proportional relationship. So when you increase volume, temperature will also increase. A student investigate the pressure and volume of a fixed mass of gas at two temperatures. State and explain which curve corresponds to the higher temperature. So temperature with pressure. So their relationship is directly proportional. So when you increase temperature, pressure will also increase. So it means that we need to find a curve that has high pressure, which is the first curve. So the answer is the curve 1 because it has higher pressure. As pressure has a directly proportional relationship with temperature, means that high pressure, high temperature. Next, the ideal gas equations and combined gas law. So this is the ideal gas equations, where P stands for pressure, the unit is in Pascal, and volume, V stands for volume, the unit is meter cube, T is temperature, is in Kelvin, and N is number of mole, and R is a gas constant, 8.314 J per Kelvin mole. In case that if the volume is in decimeter cube, so pressure will be in kilopascal. So if volume unit is meter cube, the unit of pressure is Pascal, but when the unit of volume is in decimeter cube, the unit of pressure is kilopascal. Okay? And this is the combined gas law. P1 times V1 divided by T1 equals to P2 times V2 divided by T2. What happens to the volume of a fixed mass of gas when its pressure and its absolute temperature are both double? So P2 it's 2P1 and T2 it's 2T1 because double then the first temperature and pressure. So let's use the combined gas law. P1 V1 divided by T1 equals to P2 V2 divided by T2. Now we insert this data. So P1 V1 divided by T1, P2 is 2P1, V2 is constant, and we will see through this calculation, and T2 is 2T1. So T1 we can eliminate, P1 as well, and 2 divided by 2. Therefore, V1 equals to V2. The volume is not changed, right? Second question, calculate the volume in meter cube. of a balloon filled with 0.4 mole of hydrogen gas at a temperature of 22.90 degrees Celsius and a pressure of 1.20 Pascal. So the ideal gas law is PV equals to nRT. The question is volume. So let's rearrange the equation. V is nRT divided by P. So it's 0.4 mole times 8.314 gas constant R, J per K mole, times temperature is 22.90. It's 296.05 Kelvin. Okay, should be Kelvin. Divided by pressure is 1.2 Pascal. Okay, if it's Pascal, the unit of volume, it's in meter cube. The answer is 820 meter cube. If it's in kilopascal, it's in decimeter cube. Okay, next, a 0.230 gram sample of A, when vaporized, had a volume of 0.0785 decimeter cube at 95 degrees Celsius and 102 kilopascal. You see that? Kilopascal decimeter cube. Determine the relative molecular mass of A. So it's M. Okay? So how do we do that? Look, this is the ideal gas equation. PV equals to nRT. So PV equals to Nm divided by molar mass. So M divided by mRT. So M would be, okay, so this would be mRT divided by PV. M is 0.230 times 8.314 times temperature, 95 degrees Celsius. We need to convert it into Kelvin. It's 368 Kelvin divided by pressure. Pressure here is 102 kilopascal. And then volume is 0.0785. So the molar mass is 87.9 gram per mole. All right. Next question is the molar volume of a gas at STP is 22.7 decimeter cube per mole. Calculate the molar volume at 25 degrees Celsius at the same pressure. Okay, so we've got STP. So STP, we've got the first, this is the temperature, 25 degrees Celsius, and then STP, the temperature is 0 degrees Celsius. Remember that, okay? So this would be 273.15 Kelvin, and this one would be 298.15 Kelvin. So let's use the combined gas law, P1V1 divided by T1 P2V2 divided by T2. The same pressure. It means we don't need pressure. So now let's put into the formula. V1 is 22.7 divided by, the first one is 273.15 Kelvin, right? 0 degrees Celsius. Equals to, V2 is the question, and T2 is 298.15 Kelvin. So V2 is 24.8 decimeter cube per mole. Okay, so that is the content about ideal gas equation and combined gas law, also ideal gas model and real gases. And in the next video, I will cover our next unit. It's chemical change, unit 6. All right, so believe in yourself and believe in me, and also the NAIL IB, the best platform for you guys to study and prepare for your final exam. I'm sure with the NAIL IB, you guys will get the perfect score of 7 in your final exam. See you in the next video.